Hello, YouTube. This is Isilme from Nell's Good Morning Eorzea channel, and I have decided that I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and give Let's Playing a try. With the advent of Final Fantasy XIV coming out, I spent a good deal of money upgrading my equipment, so now I am able to actually do fraps and record sound and all that stuff and have it not look like complete ass. And so I thought I would give it a try. Now, obviously, what you see in front of you is not Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV is Phase 4 is still about a week away. Um, but I thought I would do something like this just to give myself some practice on a game I'm familiar with, and this is the Old Republic, something I am familiar with. I play casually, and so I thought I'd start a new character and just run through it and give myself a chance to practice, just doing the chatter and generally trying to make it interesting. So this is my new character. I named her Tharissa, and she's a Jedi Knight. And so I'm just going to run around with her. I've already done a little bit. I did try recording a little bit before, but I was being drowned out by the game audio. So I'm trying to fix that now by recording my own audio separately, so I can clean that up. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm already on the quest here now. We've just arrived on Tython and the Jedi training world. It was actually Tython historically was the world that Jedi first arose on, that Force users first. Well, not the current generation of Force users, the Jedi and ultimately Sith came from. There were other races that used the Force before Tython, but Tython was really where the classical Jedi came from. Now, they had to abandon Tython a long time ago, and its location was lost for the longest time, but it was rediscovered shortly before the Sith Empire returned and started the Galactic Civil War. Sorry, not the Galactic Civil War, the Great Galactic War that eventually resulted in the sacking of Coruscant and the destruction of the Jedi Temple there. And so the Jedi are attempting to rebuild on Tython, since they're not terribly popular with the Republic right now. So, unfortunately, Tython is also home to lots of nasty stuff, including Flesh Raiders. And right now, the Flesh Raiders are conducting a raid and capturing a bunch of Padawans. And it's my goal to find them and basically beat up some Flesh Raiders while I'm at it. Now, I've decided to play this character. Usually when I play a game like this, BioWare game, it's a good idea to have sort of a character concept in mind and how you're playing them. I mean, I know most of the benefits are either going all light side or all dark side, but you can eventually correct that later with doing missions or whatever. But as you're playing through the single player campaign, um, you don't have to be all light side or all dark side. It does help if you're majority of one or the other. So rather than saying I'm going to go all light side or all dark side, I've got my characters usually have their own sort of moral choice system, much like how the companions work. So I'm going to be playing her sort of as a warrior type who's more from a more primitive traditional type, where it's more about honor and such and less about, you know, so much the Force. So she will tend to choose some dark side options if it involves, you know, going into battle or whatnot. And she doesn't have a whole lot of. She isn't going to be a whole lot of. Uh, not going to be a whole lot for coddling those who can't handle themselves. If like she'll protect innocents and civilians and everything, but if you're a warrior, then you know you are expected to pull your weight. And so that's going to cause her to take some dark side choices here. I know going to cause her to take some dark side choices in the near future here, so let's get going here. And we're just releasing Padawans from the cells here. Now, these are not combat trained Padawans. So they're not really warriors yet, so they really wouldn't... Oops, I didn't see you. Okay. At any rate, I've played Star Wars: The Old Republic since launch. I'm not as attached to it as I am Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sort of a passing Star Wars fan. I guess I'm sort of the average level Star Wars fan. I'm not completely a huge fan. I know most of the lore, and I can discuss it competently and stuff, but I don't know many people who can't. Okay, free Padawans by missing students. Okay, missing students are this way. I don't know many people who can't, competently understand the Star Wars lore. It's such a pervasive thing these days. But I guess it just never really gripped me like Final Fantasy XIV did, just because I didn't have that investment in it, and that I guess Final Fantasy was broken, and I felt like I was helping to fix it. And I guess that's maybe arrogant, but hey, legacy player being arrogant. Okay, where am I supposed to go here? I thought there was a path. Oops. Nope, they want to kill me. Okay, we'll deal with that first. All of you can die. Whoops. That was dumb of me. Yeah, lie down. I love these vibroblade weapons we have. Basically, they look like a bunch of tubes strapped together, and they remind me a lot of something I messed around with in college. Is we used to do something in college called bunting. I don't know if this was the proper term for it. This is the term not my roommate. It was a friend of my roommate that had started it, and we kind of co-opted it for ourselves. But they called it bunting, which was a. I'm gonna go do this again. Okay. It was a. It's kind of like more mock sword fighting, where you basically take sort of a PVC pipe. Length of PVC pipe about 3.5, 4 feet long, however long you wanted your sword to be, and you wanted it about 3.5 inches thick, maybe more, depending if it was a longer sword. You had to play with it a little bit so you didn't get too much flex out of it. But you were basically then you would take that and wrap that in foam padding, and then wrap the whole mess in duct tape, and you would get what we call the bunting sword. And what we would do is we'd take these, and we had specific rules on how you do the sword fighting. You would have 2 hits would take out a limb, a direct strike to the body. So if they 2 strikes on the limb, meaning that if they hit your right arm twice, then you couldn't use that arm. You would have to fight with your left arm. If they hit your leg twice, you didn't make you hop because that was too awkward, but you would not be allowed to move that leg. You wouldn't be able to lift it off the ground. So you would have to hobble around on that with one leg. And if you lost both legs, you would have to sit down or lie down, depending on what you preferred. And we would go around and we would sword fight out by our dormitories. And we would actually, some people would be interested in it. We'd have, other groups that would want to challenge us and stuff, because we kind of had this little group thing going. And but that's what those things remind me of, and they never struck me as something you could actually hurt someone with, because they look like a PVC pipe, surrounded by 4 things of foam padding, which happens to kind of sort of glow, maybe not really. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. Now, to be fair, oh, hello, Flesh Raiders. To be fair, I guess, Star Wars universe and everything, but, I don't care how much you make that thing vibrate, it's not going to cut it. I guess some of the later ones look good. I guess the starter gear should not look good, I guess. It doesn't have to look bad, but I always thought that, the starter gear, you should look like starter gear. I mean, it's like, you're starting out, you're a scrub, you should look it. That just makes it all that much better when as you progress. Anyway, here are my group here. Now, I'm a little bit torn on these ones, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's go talk with them.
How's he looking?
He should be resting in the Jedi Temple, but if you're determined to press on, I can help him along.
Give him the last of the Kolto if you have to. We'll fight again soon. Hey! Good to see another Padawan alive out here. You're lucky those creatures haven't caught you yet.
I've been searching for you. What happened out here?
Knew they'd sent rescuers.
We came seeking knowledge of the Jedi Code. The Flesh Raiders interrupted our trial.
I've never fought like that in my life. We killed it, but Jaredin was badly injured.
Your friend. How serious is the wound?
It pains him greatly. He should not be moving. It is not the Jedi way to seek battle and revenge while a man suffers.
That's your opinion, Meneus. It's not what we decided. Training or not, a bunch of animals won't keep us from becoming Jedi.
Isn't she right? Jedi don't give up, do they?
She is wrong. Remember the Jedi Code. There is no passion. There is serenity.
That's enough, Meneus. If you want to help us, we could use you. Help make the Flesh Raiders pay.
Now, see, this is my question here. Now, normally if these were combat trained, she would be all for it. It's like, let's go get them. But they're not combat trained. But they are willing. So I'm going to say we're going to go get revenge, because this is something my character would do. Now, this is probably going to get this guy killed, but...
Alright. Let's teach those monsters to stay out of the gnarls.
Here's what we need, then. If you can take the Flesh Raiders head on, we can come around and flank them. When you're finished, let the watchmen at camp know we're coming back. It just may take us a while.
May the Force be with you.
Okay, so yeah. Go get those Flesh Raiders. Okay, so what do I have to do? Kill Flesh Raiders and destroy Flesh Raider supplies. Hey, that's easy enough. The nice thing is that if you help someone out there, you get you do get credit for it. Now, do you need those supplies? Well, destroy the Flesh Raider supplies. Okay, I'm gonna kill you guys. So if someone helps me out on one of these things, you know, even if you do, as long as you do, you know, enough damage to it, you get credit for it, and you can't steal credit from that. So, which I kind of like that. Encourages you to help people out around here. Although I've had some weird situations on planets where contested planets where you have Sith and Jedi. I go see someone in trouble and I go and I run in and I help them, and all of a sudden, oh hey, that's someone from the other faction. The last time I did that, I was on Makeb, on my Sith warrior, my main, and I saw someone who was about to die, and so I jumped in and I helped destroy this droid, and I turned around and looked at them, and it's like, oh hey, you're a Jedi Guardian. Okay, thank God this isn't a PvP server. There we go. So now I gotta secure the Gnarls Cavern. I see what that is. Okay. So let's go around this way. I like to have themes for my characters when I play them. You know, if you're playing a role-playing game, whether you're gonna role-play them or not, especially on a game like this, where one thing I always liked about this game is this is very in-depth storyline, very involved in it. BioWare has always been very good at that sort of thing. I don't know how good I rate this as actually a multiplayer game. It is good as far as, you know, as co-op, but as far as a massively multiplayer online game, I don't know how well I would rate this, just because I've seen you know, the end game, and it's kind of just here, do some operations, do some of this, do some of that. There's no new places to go. There's no and once you get there, you know, all the planets, they stop feeling like worlds. They just feel like leveling zones that you've already that once you're done the planet, you're done the planet. You have no reason to go back there. There are some exceptions. Tatooine is a very good planet. Alderaan is a very good planet. But some of the other ones, it's just, especially the ones that are very time-based, like, for instance, Terrace. I'm not going to spoil it, but a lot of planets like Terrace or Brahmel or whatever have one time period when one faction goes to it and does their thing, and then the time period when another faction goes to it and pretty much undoes what the first faction did. So you'll go into a planet as, say, Imperial and finish securing it for them, crush the resistance or whatever, and then you'll go in there as Republic and rebuild the resistance and free the planet from the Imperials. And so suddenly, whenever you go back to the planet on the Imperial faction, you're traveling back in time, I guess. And it's, I don't know, it just makes it feel like it's just a leveling zone, not really a world. It's not quite so bad on, I guess, contested worlds. It's not as bad on, but certainly the single-player ones, there's really no reason to go back to them, which feels kind of like a waste. I admit this would probably be a lot more immersive for me if I did play PvP. I'm not a big fan of PvP. Mostly because I'm not very good at PvP. I am terrible at PvP. Game first came out, a friend of mine said, okay, hey, let's do some Hutball. I'm going to go do some Hutball. And so we're a bunch of level 12s, level 17s, I think, and going out into Hutball where they would basically auto-level you to 50, but you wouldn't get all the abilities or the stat bonuses or everything, so it was horribly unfair. But you'd go in there and, hey, we're against the level 50 pre-made. That's gonna end well. And at the end of it, I was just so fed up with it. I just said, yeah, I'm never doing that. We're not doing that again. Don't invite me along for anything like that again. But I have done some open world PvP where it's just like not going with a purpose in mind, just random encounters, or you run into a Sith who was griefing us, who was just basically being a Sith. And we fought him, hunted him down, and beat him, and we were expecting his friends to come in and wipe us out, but they never did. So I don't know what he was planning there. Maybe he couldn't get his friends there as long as he could. And then we were running around Flag for a bit, and we got ambushed a couple times, and we fought them off, and we did well. And there was another time where I was on Nar Shaddaa on one of my other characters, my Republic, on my Jedi Knight, and I was running around, and a Sith came up behind me, and I guess he basically went right into character, and he says, "You reek of small-mindedness and failure," and it was one of these just completely Sith lines he said, and he was like 10 levels higher than me. He would have stomped me into the dirt, but I was tempted to flag myself anyway and give him the fight, just because that was the immersion thing. If this was a PvP server, I probably would have turned right around and just jumped him, because I knew he was going to come after me anyway. But that is kind of a cool aspect. And I guess I can kind of see that. It's just I can also see there's so much potential for people to grief with it and stuff that it's kind of hard that moments like that are not the norm. So anyway, let's continue on here.
Stop struggling, Padawan. Your life was over the moment you set foot here. Because the Order must evolve, and you are weak.
Whatever your problem is, Ugly, I'm here to end it.
You are dangerous. You killed my soldiers. Not attacking, cleansing. And we have only begun.
Yeah, ask you to surrender. Can I join you? No. No, never do that. Because she's also loyal to her own side. But she would be the type of...
I'll do some cleansing of my own.
And yeah, she's going to go in there and deal with him. Now, to be fair, she's not going to be a complete monster. I'm not going to play this one completely dark side. I am going to take some dark side points on this. She's probably going to be more gray. I want your lightsaber. Okay.
Azda wahota halwadopi.
You two all right? What happened here?
Yogusanopi chunki. Fakota ji otto endia.
Thank the Force that you're both safe. This man's no Jedi. At least not one of us.
If he wasn't like us, what was he?
I'd call him Sith, but the Empire doesn't know where Tython is.
This lightsaber, there's something familiar about it. Strange.
You held off all these attackers by yourself with only a practice saber. Impressive.
I deserve a decent weapon, and my enemy doesn't need his anymore.
This weapon can help us discover who the man was. It's going to the Jedi Council. This battle's over, but we don't want any more Flesh Raiders coming through here.
Just bring down the whole cavern on top of us.
That should hold them back for now.
You should have left that open. We could have used it to destroy the Flesh Raiders.
Declaring war is the last thing we should do. There's too much we don't know about our enemy.
Kuna wawonda. Yapawa kuka turonti.
Not yet. I'll get you to a med center. You seem all right to travel alone. Report to the Jedi Council.
This valley isn't safe yet. I don't feel good about leaving.
We have Jedi Knights rooting out the last attackers. You're needed elsewhere. Follow the path leading out of this valley. You'll find the Jedi Temple through the mountain pass. See you there.
I remember when the game first came out, and granted, when for free-to-play players, this is still true, where you didn't get sprint until level 12. Now, to give you an idea, you now get your first speeder at level 10. So you were basically stuck until level 12, like this, which on some of the larger worlds like Nar Shaddaa got really intolerable really fast. I guess not Nar Shaddaa, but Terrace, definitely. So it's one of the advantages of being a subscriber. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay subscribed. We will see. Because I do play this with my friends occasionally. And this game is 100% better. Like, if you're going to play this game, if you're interested in playing this game, if you like Star Wars, this is a good game. If you're interested in playing this game, that's great. Play it with friends. Get a couple of friends. It's free to play. You just do a free to play thing. You don't need to have cartel coins or all the nonsense or whatever. There's really nothing blocking you from being able to level. It's not there's no like level cap or anything. You won't be able to do the end game content. You'll be limited to the number of flashpoints you can do, but you don't really need to do those anyway until level 50. And the game really end game content is. I wouldn't play this game for the end game content, to be perfectly honest. But this is a great game to play if you got even just one friend. You get one friend, and then you and they can bring up their companions. And so basically, pairing up in this game is pretty much the ideal formula, because you can do heroic 2+. You get all the affection points from your companion from the conversations. You also get social points from your companions with the conversations. You get you basically get all the benefits. You get the experience bonuses. You also don't have to divide the spoils quite as much as if you were in a group of 4. Well, groups of 4 are lots of fun. You just rip through the content on groups of 4. But yeah, just even playing with 2 people is really great. And so when I first played this game, I played with Nell, and we went through on Imperial side. I had a Sith Inquisitor, and Nell went through as a bounty hunter. So we had different classes, different stories, and everything like that. So we could help each other, and there was and do the class quest. We do our class quest together and all this other stuff, and that was a lot of fun. And that's where most of my really good memories of this game are. And most of the new ones I make playing with my friends, my roommates, or others. I haven't found anyone really online to play with. If you're looking for a buddy, I'm on the Ebon Hawk server, and right now I'm starting a character on the Republic side. I also have some other characters. Drop me a line. I will make sure to leave my my email address in the comments, so you can drop me a line if you like. Anyway, let's turn in some more quests here.
The Padawans are a bit shaky, but they're alive. They wanted to stay, so I cleared them a path.
That's brave of them, but not what the Council wanted. I hope they'll be all right.
Many of the natives died, but there was no way to take them all out.
Don't worry. We have experienced Jedi coming to do just that. No more Padawans will be allowed into the Gnarls until we've repelled the Flesh Raiders. You probably want to get back to your trials. Again, thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Dark side and get some gear. Got that. So that. And have we got any other gear here to equip? I don't think so. Okay. So we're going to sell off some of our junk here. Ooh, we're gonna train some stuff.
Using a lightsaber is just as much science as art.
Okay, so
We can spar anytime.
I usually like my stuff organized in a certain way. I try and keep it consistent across my similar characters, just so that I don't get confused. So junk. So there's whites. I'll keep my packs for now.
Womitopi.
Okay. Yeah, I know I have mail. That's some stuff I sent for one of my other characters. I'm saving that for when I finish Tython. That will be sort of my reward for getting that far in my Let's Play. Alright then, so I'm going to stop the Let's Play here. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and comment below, and hopefully I will be doing more of these. And this is Isilme signing off.